79 to 04 Mustangs are the best autocross cars ever built. I say it all the time, especially when I'm instructing novices driving Fox Body, SN95 and New Edge ponies at autocross events. In a sport full of Miatas, BMWs and S2000s, that's a bold statement to make. Is it just because I have a blind loyalty to the legendary Blue Oval Beast? Nope. I've been lucky enough to attack the cones in all sorts of awesome autocross cars. And still, I drive a 1992 Mustang GT, a 2000 IRS-swapped Mustang GT, and a 2004 IRS-swapped Mustang V6. Here's why 79 to 04 Mustangs are the best autocross cars ever built. Hatchback, notchback, convertible, and coupe. 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, or 8 cylinders. Naturally aspirated, turbocharged, or supercharged. Solid rear axle, or independent rear suspension. There's a Mustang for everyone and every budget. Each model has its nuances, strengths, and weaknesses. You'd be amazed at the different personalities cars with the same basic chassis can have. They run the gamut from brute to ballerina. Autocross is about car control. It's not about speeding, drifting, or driving like a maniac. It's about how well you can control your car around a course of cones, pushing your car to the limit and not a millimeter beyond. And stock 79 to 04 Mustangs aren't easy to control at the limit. Factory-installed understeer, throttle-induced oversteer, poor weight distribution, chassis flex, and barely adequate brakes conspire to create +1s, DNFs, and spins. A lot of people think those are reasons not to autocross their Mustangs, but they're actually the best reasons to give it a try. You'll learn more about car control driving around the factory flaws inherent in a stock Mustang than any other car out there. If you can post a decent time in a bone stock 79 to 04 Mustang, you can really drive. The SCCA tries to keep the classes competitive, so if you have a stock Mustang, you don't have to run against heavily modified cars. Because 79 to 04 Mustangs all have the same basic DNA, it means the Ford Motor Company made a multitude of OEM upgrades that can be installed on other models. Need better front brakes for your V8 Fox Body? Replace your factory 60mm calipers with 1984 to 86 SVO 73mm single piston calipers. Or retrofit 5-lug 94 to 04 spindles with 2 piston calipers. If that's not enough, the spindle swap lets you upgrade to 94 to 04 Cobra 13-inch front brakes. Looking for a bolt-in 5-lug rear disc brake setup on your Fox Body? Put in a complete rear end from an SN95 and a 1993 Cobra master cylinder. You will need a few aftermarket brake lines to complete the installs, but kits are readily available. Keep in mind that SN95 axles are 3/4 of an inch longer than Fox axles, so even though the housings are the same, the SN95 rear end is 1.5 inches wider. That might impact tire and rim options. I put a 1998 Cobra rear end in my 1992 GT, and I was still able to fit 18 by 9 inch rims with 275/35/18 tires without needing fender flares or rolling the fenders. Need to stiffen up the chassis in your 94 to 04 coupe? Ford installed bolt-in subframe connectors and K-member braces in 94 to 04 convertibles. The holes they bolt into are on non-convertibles too. The factory subframe connectors aren't as stiff as weld-in braces, and the OEM K-member braces are heavier than most aftermarket options, but they cost a fraction of the price. Want bigger sway bars? Want to add a rear sway bar to a 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder? Ford used several different front and rear sway bar sizes on 79 to 93 and 94 to 04 cars. Want an independent rear suspension? Well, the 99 to 04 Cobra IRS can be installed in 79 to 04 solid rear axle cars. Fox bodies and SN95s require minor fabrication and custom brake lines. New Edge cars without ABS require custom brake lines. You can find a lot of these parts on eBay, at your local LKQ, and at Mustang-specific salvage yards. Remember, the bones of a Fox body are under the most capable New Edge Mustang ever built, the 2000 Cobra R. Not everything will just bolt right into earlier cars, but more and more companies are making kits to help retrofit 94 to 04 Ford factory parts onto 79 to 93 cars. You can build a pretty potent pony just by using OEM parts from later models. The Mustang is the most modifiable muscle car ever produced. From restoration parts to performance parts, you can build your car to the rules of any class. As your skills improve and you're better able to determine what mods the car needs to suit your evolving driving style, you can move up through the classes as your budget allows. Best of all, aftermarket companies are still releasing new products for these older cars, and they are incredibly easy to maintain, repair, and upgrade. You can continually refine the same car for years and stay competitive. When I first started autocrossing, people didn't expect much from these Mustangs. I was often told, "You're in the wrong car." Those low expectations created an unbreakable bond between Mustang drivers. We have something to prove every time we go out on course. You won't find a more tight-knit group at an autocross event than the Mustang owners. We share setup secrets, driving tips, and the insatiable desire to show what these cars are capable of. No other car in the world has the variety of powertrains, the flaws that force you to be a better driver, the proven OEM upgrades, the astounding aftermarket parts availability, and the endless potential for performance. If you've ever wanted to try autocrossing, now is the time to get your horse out on course. Because when you're attacking the cones in a 79 to 04 Mustang, you're driving the best autocross car ever built.